Hi everybody, welcome to Jake's Showcase. I do videos on Wednesdays. Today, I'm going to tell you about a food that I love and that is actually so good for you. It's called the walnut. Right here, we got some walnuts, and we're going to tell you some interesting facts about it. So let's get cracking. Now, first thing I think we can talk about walnuts is that they're really, really old. Walnuts have been harvested for thousands of years. There's basically three different types of walnuts. There's something called the English walnut, the black walnut, and the white walnut. Now, the white walnut's usually called like the butternut walnut. Basically, the word walnut comes from a German word that means foreign nut. And even though it's called the English walnut, it's actually from Persia. The #1 producer of walnuts in the world is China, followed by Iran and the United States. So they're only grown in certain countries, but it's mostly around the Caspian Sea and in California. Walnuts are so good for you. The one that we're most familiar with is going to be what's called the English walnut, which would be what these are. So they have so many good characteristics, these little suckers here, that for example, you can actually, this is one of they're high in fat. 65% of it's fat, but it's a good fats for you. You get 15 grams of protein on 100 grams of walnuts, and you get 6 grams of fiber. So it's mostly fat, but good fat, and then it's got protein in it, and it's got fiber. So walnuts are very, very healthy for you. The kinds of the fats that are in this actually can help you reduce your fat. If you're somebody who's obese, it's actually it helps you reduce your fat because it's got anti-inflammation properties in it. And so even though it's considered a high-calorie food, for 30 grams of walnuts, it's 196 calories, so it's a high-calorie food. But in fact, it can help you with obesity, and the reason for that is because it helps with the inflammation that has to do with your stomach and with your body, the cells around it. So this is something that you can eat pretty regularly, no matter if you're trying to gain weight or lose weight. It's actually good for your brain too. Like, this helps with your cognitive thinking skills and your memory. And there's naturally occurring melatonin in it, which helps with your sleep regulation. It's recommended that you eat 7 walnuts a day. And these are half walnuts. This one here looks like a whole walnut. So if you have 7 of these walnuts in a day, you've got a really good amount. You can get away with only having as few as 4. But what I like to do is I just like to take a handful of them and try to eat them. I eat them as much as I can because I really enjoy the flavor of them. And it's really good for your heart. Like, it's really good for people who got like heart problems or are going to have a heart attack, or maybe have had heart disease before. It can both because it helps again with the inflammation, and it keeps down your blood inflammation. It's good for male fertility. So if you eat these things, you actually have a better chance of having a child if you're trying to have a child. So it's really good for male health. And it helps with cancer too, like for breast and prostate cancer. It really cuts down the risk of you having the breast and prostate cancer, as well as if somebody has it, it slows down tumor growth. Or that's what studies have shown. So these things are absolutely tremendous for you. And you want to store them in the refrigerator, right? You want to not put them in your cupboard once you've opened the package. You want to keep them in your refrigerator to have like best, because the walnut tree, the walnut tree is a very beautiful, big, beautiful tree, and people have coveted it for thousands of years, because not only does it produce these fruits, which these are technically fruits. This is the hard-shelled fruit of the walnut tree, walnuts, and but it also gives you shelter. It also provides medicines, and people also use it for lamp oil. The tree actually harvests these nuts in December, but you can have them all the way around the year. But they are harvested in December, and they leaf really, really late in the spring. Walnut trees do, and when they leaf, they secrete sort of chemicals into the soil that doesn't let other vegetation grow around it. So if you do have a walnut tree, you're not going to want to have like a garden around it, because the walnut tree will take over the garden. It won't let things grow around it because it wants the nutrients for its own self. So these things are really, really good for you. And one of the reasons it's kind of interesting to know about that secretion of the chemicals is because if this stuff is not stored properly, it can actually develop like molds that are really bad for you, and it can irritate your skin, kind of like because it goes from the really good characteristics kind of over to the really bad characteristics that the walnut tree has. So these things are delicious and they're nutritious. You can put them, if you don't like the taste of them, you can put them in a smoothie, or you can sprinkle them in a salad, or you can put them on, whatever it is, yogurt or something that you like. Me personally, I like to eat them just as they are, because you're getting you're getting protein, you're getting your good fats. Like the fats, I think one of the main reasons I like the fats and the omega-3 fatty acids in this thing, because it's really, really good for your skin too. Just keeping your skin looking nice and crisp and beautiful. It's good for like your aging process, because when you have a lot of good fatty acids inside of your diet, then that goes through your whole body, and that goes through into your into your skin. And for me particularly, I got like a little bit of a skin thing, and when I eat this, it helps, right? And a lot of times people, so for aging, it's good. It's good for your skin. It's good for your heart. It's good for your blood, right? It's good for your fertility. It's the king of the nuts for sure, in my opinion, right? It's and they're not the cheapest of things, but they are cheap enough that they're accessible, I would say, to the masses, right? You can buy these things not that expensive, and apparently only 5.5% of people who are between 19 and 50 eat tree nuts at all, right? So if you probably don't eat tree nuts, but if you're gonna pick a tree nut to eat, this is the best. This is the best one, right? Almonds are really, really good too, but just because of the multiple benefits of the walnut, and the flavor is really good too, and they're not that crunchy, so it's not that hard to eat them. Like sometimes almonds can be kind of crunchy and kind of hard to chew, whereas walnuts aren't like that. Cashews are really easy to chew too, but the walnuts are a little tiny bit better because they got a little bit more protein in them than the cashews do, right? So you're getting like your protein source. Like everybody needs protein, and this is a good thing to have to keep your calorie count up and to keep your protein count up, right? But again, it's not going to make you overweight, because it's helping reduce the inflammation throughout your whole body, and something called metabolic syndrome. It helps with that, which is basically a term that means that you got like a lot of different problems. Maybe you got like problems with your blood, fat, and stuff like that. This helps really regulate that. So I highly recommend you go for your walnuts, and try to eat them, and share them around. It's a great party snack. Everybody likes walnuts. They don't know why, and the reason is because they're so good for you. All right, I hope you like that, and I hope you can go and enjoy some walnuts tonight. All right, please don't forget to like my video below and subscribe to my channel up above. I do my videos on Wednesdays, and I hope you have a happy, healthy, and great day. Thanks for watching.